Hey everybody, what's Gilman. So back to what I originally started my previous channel on, as a gun channel and being pro Second Amendment. Apparently now the House has panel, I should say, has advanced a bill to what they call ban quote unquote assault weapons. They don't even put it in parentheses, even though they're not assault weapons. Yes, it's a blatant further violation of the Second Amendment. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. If they want to go into detail arguing about the whole militia thing, oh well, yeah, we can talk about that and its purpose, but that'll freak them out even more. They really don't even want to go there. But anyway, yes, blatant, obvious violation of the Second Amendment. The whole claim of no rights are unlimited. Well, yes, it is unlimited in the context it is written. This is violating the context. Now, the hilarious thing is the whole idea of assault weapons right there. It's not even an assault weapon. It is semi-automatic firearms. Um, the fully automatic firearms that would actually be called assault weapons are already banned. Cosmetically, rifles that are semi-automatic, just like non-scary looking ones, the only difference is they look scary. The problem has obviously been mentally ill, emasculine young males who are, almost universally have been very heavily medicated. They don't want to talk about that. They don't want to talk about the real problems. Hey, they want to ban firearms for law abiding Americans. And a lot of people say, well, if they're illegal, maybe there's illegal gun markets, but it'll be more difficult and they're probably not going to be intelligent or determined enough to get the illegal firearms. You mean kind of like drugs are now? Because if you ban all the things, then you think there's an illegal gun market now and it's difficult to get an illegal firearm now. It will be vastly made available with our wide open borders as they allow 2 million people just in this last year to pour across illegally, bringing whatever they want, fentanyl, everything else. You don't have to be intelligent or determined. In fact, usually the people are very undetermined and unintelligent who get drugs all the time. And then illegal guns will be like candy while the law abiding, because they don't want it, those of us trying to live responsibly, because we don't want to lose our jobs, be put in prison for felonies and all that. Well, they won't comply, and millions of people will be made felons with an unconstitutional law. And the people who want to get it illegally, well, they'll be able to get it like candy because the illegal gun market will explode. An excellent case in point right here. Here, hilarious image of what they call an assault weapon is actually a cheap Hi-Point 9mm carbine. This thing holds 10 rounds of 9mm. It looks scary. That's the whole point. It's semi-automatic. You pull the trigger once, goes boom. Pull the trigger again, goes boom. Just like almost any other semi-automatic firearm. And yet, it holds only 10 rounds of 9mm. A small, compact, everyday carry 9mm holds more rounds of the same caliber typically. And yet again, because it looks scary, must ban all the things. People who have no idea what they're talking about, who blatantly know that they are violating the exact context of the Constitution and the Second Amendment, but again, don't care. They know it won't work, but again, they don't care. So, if not that, well, maybe they're trying to avoid talking about the real problem of heavily medicated, pharmaceutical, emasculated young men. And the public school systems, almost always in suburbia, they keep churning them out like this, like factories. Because this didn't happen 30 years ago. It started happening 20 something years ago. And it's gotten more frequent ever since. And again, they almost all have the exact same things in common. We know what the problems are. We know what will address them. Less households have firearms in them now than did 30, 40 years ago. Firearms with actually much, much deadlier ballistics like 12 gauges used to sit in the back openly of trucks in school parking lots again 40, 50 years ago when this did not happen. We know exactly what's changed. We know exactly what's wrong with the young men doing these things, these horrible things. And like we saw in Waukesha, if you take away the firearm, Lord forbid they'll use something even more horrible. The reason they use the firearm is because it looks scary, because you have demonized and made it scary. Not by anyone who's been taught and raised up to respect the firearms. Hey, we don't want to have firearms education in schools, right? So in closing, besides the blatant fact that it blatantly violates the, Constitution in the context it's written in the Second Amendment, the basic fact that if the illegal gun market now doesn't make it that easy to get a firearm, and it's already not that difficult to buy an illegal gun if a criminal wanted to, you think the illegal gun market's bad now? Well, it'll be absolutely horrible. And the public, the general public, will be disarmed and can't do anything about it. As we've seen in Uvalde, the police absolutely won't be able to either. But that kind of horrible hellscape that we would be put into will lead to a populace that can't resist anything from the government. By the way, from the political party who openly says that they are pushing things like illegal migration, mass migration, forcing them into artificially low wages, and onto government assistance to establish one party rule. Make DC a state when it's the federal seat of power, make the Senate, do away with the 2-seat per state Senate, make it representative of the population, add more, Senate seats for places with illegals, give illegals legal status, let them vote. This would establish permanent one-party rule in the United States with a disarmed public who can't do anything about it. The obvious end result here. Everything I'm saying, because it definitely won't fix the problem, that's for sure. This is Ozark Goodwin. He'll have a good one.